About a year ago, I teamed up with the FM Retro Group to make this video in which we rewrote the last 20 years of football history using a database they'd created on FM20 that started in the year 2000. Well, those crazy rascals have been at it again and they've one-upped themselves from last year. Going back 20 years in time is just not enough. And they got in touch with me last week to say they've been working with a guy called Warringtini, and between all of them, they've put together a database that starts in 1991. You know what that means? We're about to rewrite the last 30 years of football history. Hello folks, and welcome to a video in which we are going to rewrite the last 30 years of football history using a Football Manager database created by the FM Retro Group that starts us off in 1991. We're then going to take a similar route to what we did with the 2000 database last year. We're going to have a quick look at where we're starting things off just to show you the starting squads. But then we're going to get into the meat of the video and start holidaying forward. We're going to go 10 years, 20 years, and then 30 years forward. 30 years forward will bring us to the start of this season, to 2020. It's got all of the real life players who appeared over the last 30 years scheduled to appear at the right times, but they won't necessarily appear at the right clubs. So we will have the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, etc., but we don't know if they're going to end up as good as they did in real life, and we don't know where they might end up. We are literally resetting to 1991 and rewriting football history. If that sounds like something that appeals to you, make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. The more likes we get on videos like this, the better it does in the YouTube algorithm, which then means I'm more likely to make more videos like this in the future. If we hit 5,000 likes on this video by the end of the month, I'll do a part 2 and we'll go into parts of it in a little bit more detail. So make sure if you do like this kind of thing, leave a thumbs up. And of course, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, turn your notifications on. I do make daily Football Manager videos, usually wearing a suit. But, you know, I'm not managing the team in this video, so I didn't feel the need to put the suit on. But come and have a look at some of the series we've got going on. We've got loads of cool stuff going on at the moment, plus some really cool stuff planned for the Euros down the line as well. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Stick around. I am this close to 100,000 subscribers. If this video could push us over the line, ooh, I'll be a happy chappy. But let's jump into the content. As you can see, I've got everything loaded up. We're starting with the English First Division. The one thing they're not able to change when they do these custom databases is the actual in-game date. So every time you see a date, you're going to have to add 30 onto it. Take 30 away. So this is the start of the 1990-91 season. And all the correct teams are in the English First Division, and they've got the correct squads. If we have a look to give you an idea of who's in these squads, you can see we've got an Arsenal squad here. If we sort this by position, an Arsenal squad with John Lukic and Viv Anderson, Tony Adams. I noticed earlier a very young 18-year-old Andy Cole. They don't have face packs, unfortunately. This is a beta database at the moment. There will come a time where they sort out the face packs, get the kits up to date and everything as well. I'll put a link in the description below for the FM Retro Group Discord, where you can find out more about this database, download it, have a play around with it, maybe help them out with badge packs, face packs, that kind of thing. But we can flick through all of these equivalent to Premier League, but of course it was still the First Division. We can click through all of these squads and just check that everybody has got everyone in there at the right sort of ages. Some of the squads are a little bit bigger than others because obviously this is a huge undertaking. The key thing is making sure that your key players are in there. So at Palace, there's Stan Collymore, Gareth Southgate are knocking around. You've not got a 25-man Palace squad, but those key players who came through at Crystal Palace are there. And it's not just England that we've done. If we head to Barcelona to show you an example, that some of the other squads have been updated as well. You can see at Barcelona, we have, who do we have? We've got Steve Archibald at Barcelona. I'm sure when I looked at this before, we had a very young Josep Guardiola, but I might have been making that up. Would he maybe not be at Barcelona? Guardiola. Yeah, maybe I was making that up. Silly old... He's on there now, isn't he? And you're going, Kev, he's right there. How can you not see him? But I like the fact that Steve Archibald is knocking around there at Barcelona in 1990. And I Should we check some of the other big leagues as well? I don't actually know how many of these have been updated. Bayern Munich have got Lothar Matthäus. They've got the guy whose name I can't say because the last time I said it in a YouTube video, it got me demonetized. Marcus Babbel. So there's lots and lots of leagues, lots of players that have been updated. But of course, the key thing we want to do is see what happens next. So we're going to holiday forward 10 years. That'll take us to the equivalent of 2000, where we can check in on seeing which teams have been doing well, which players have ended up where, who's been winning World Cups, that kind of thing. So we fast forwarded to the year 2000. You can see that Liverpool won the Premier League in the year 2000. That's a little bit different from what happened in reality. Who are the stars of this Liverpool team? Let's have a look at the Liverpool starting 11. I don't remember many of these players being regulars at Liverpool. Hernan Crespo playing central midfield for Liverpool, Premier League winning Liverpool side, though, is interesting. That never happened. That never happened, right? Michael Owen did come through, though. He's now a 20-year-old Michael Owen who's burst through onto the scene in the last few years. Already got 14 goals from 26 caps for England. So you can see the players that are supposed to come through are coming through. Steven Gerrard is through there as well at age 20. Not yet made his England debut. In fact, Steven Gerrard has just had a season-long loan at Millwall. Where he played quite well, to be fair, in the English second division. 6 goals, 6 assists, a 7.07. But Steven Gerrard, not quite the Steven Gerrard we'd be expecting. I mean, was it 2001? He scored that goal in the 5-1 victory over Germany. It doesn't look like he's very close to playing for England just yet. Jamie Carragher has obviously come through as well there at Liverpool, but let's have a look to see what else is going on in the first division. See if we've got any surprises. Thierry Henry is already at Arsenal. He went straight from Monaco to Arsenal. So he stopped in at Juventus on the way in real life, didn't he? Looks like in this version of history, just cut out the middleman. He's gone straight into Arsenal. That's an Arsenal who are managed by Arthur Cox. So no Arsene Wenger. Who's managing Liverpool? Graham Souness, Liverpool manager. So has he been there all the way through? Would he have been there from the start? 'Cause I know he did manage them in real life. No, he was actually... So he was at Rangers, then went to Juventus for 4 years. He's been at Liverpool for the last 5 years and has now won what is still the first division. It hasn't ticked over to become the Premier League. Joint top scorers with Thierry Henry. You've also got Alessandro Del Piero of Manchester United. So he stayed at Milan until he was 23, then went to Manchester United and is now joint top Premier League goal scorer. There is going to be new gens mixed in with this as well. There's no way to stop actual new gens from coming through. I'm assuming Stephen Woodward is a regen. It might be that he was a real life player from Luton who's just come really good. Let me know down in the comments without them having their faces on. I don't know. He could actually be a real life player who's now as good as Thierry Henry and Alessandro Del Piero. I kind of hope he is a real player who was at Luton in 1990 now and has just become an absolute superstar. He's got 34 goals and 65 caps for England. I am desperate for that boy to be real and just having a completely different career to the one that he had in real life. He's up there for average rating, man of the matches. It's lovely to see. Manchester United are managed by Alex Ferguson, as you would expect. Vice captain Alan Shearer, though. So Alan Shearer in this universe never goes to Blackburn, never goes to Newcastle. He did 2 seasons at Southampton and then joined Manchester United for £28 million, where he has been ever since, banging in the goals. Over 150 Premier League goals for Manchester United now. What a different career for Alan Shearer, and has also smashed the all-time goal scorer record for England as well, with 58 goals for England. And then QPR being right up there is an interesting one. What I'm not noticing is Manchester City. In fact, there's Manchester City getting relegated from the first division. They've actually, looks like they've been bobbing around between the first and second division for a number of years now. Not quite where although I guess the year 2000, Manchester City might have been doing that in real life. When did they? I know there was a time in the 90s or maybe early 2000s where they got as low as the third division. So maybe that's actually pretty accurate. Let's have a look at the major transfers of the last 10 years. See if we can pick out the really big moves. We want to sort this by transfer fees. We're just going to flick through this relatively quickly. It's the nature of these videos that I can't dwell on bits too much, but we can certainly have a look to see if any big surprises appear. And this is why we want to get to 5,000 likes on the video. If we get to 5,000 likes, we can focus in on a bit more detail on some of these things. Roy Keane leaving Nottingham Forest, doesn't go to Manchester United. In this world, Roy Keane left Forest and went to Real Madrid, where he's been for the last, 7-8 years at Real Madrid. What a different career for Roy Keane. Darren Anderton leaving Tottenham to go to Liverpool. My goodness me. Let's keep flicking through. Claude Makelele ended up at Manchester United. Matt Le Tissier. What has gone on with Matt Le Tissier? So he certainly didn't stay at Southampton. He went to Gijón, then went to Liverpool, Verona and Derby. Again, completely different career for Matt Le Tissier. Never played for England in this universe. Gaza going from Aston Villa to Chelsea. So he left Newcastle, never went to Tottenham, never went to Italy. Just went Newcastle, Aston Villa and then Chelsea. Has he played for England? One cap for England. A 33-year-old Paul Gascoigne only played for England once. I feel a bit sad for him. Poor old Gaza. Hold on. I don't want to look at the second division. I want to keep moving through the dates on here. Chris Sutton went from Norwich to Aston Villa. So it looks like Blackburn never happened in this world, because all the players who were key to that Blackburn team never went there. So presumably Blackburn never got their big takeover. Kevin Phillips went from Southampton to Coventry. That's one that jumps out to me. Ronnie Johnson going from Arsenal to Chelsea. So never. Oh no, he did go to. So he started at Manchester United, but then went to Arsenal and then to Chelsea. Was he really at Manchester United back in 1990? That doesn't feel right. Alessandro Nesta is at Manchester United. Robbie Fowler left Liverpool to go to Nottingham Forest. Robbie Fowler never made it at Liverpool, never got more than 4 goals in a season for Liverpool. They still sold him for a lot of money, 19.5 million, to go and play for Forest, who was still in the Premier League at this point. Fowler only getting 2 goals from 10 appearances for England. Not really what the career Robbie Fowler was hoping for. He's only 25. He's got time to turn it around, but not the Robbie Fowler I would have expected to see knocking around in this database. Jamie Redknapp left Liverpool to go to Forest as well. So you've got Jamie Redknapp and Robbie Fowler together at Nottingham Forest. We've got a Forest version of the Spice Boys. Lovely stuff. And then there's Thierry Henry joining Arsenal. Who else have we got that's any massive deals? Clarence Seedorf going to Luton. That seems significant to me. Leaves Ajax, goes straight to Luton. Never really made it at Ajax, but did enough to justify an £8 million move to Luton, who are still a top flight team. And it looks like he's a bit of a superstar there. Only played 2 games for the Netherlands so far, but now he's a star at Luton. He's hoping he's got it made. Right, let's just check the past winners of not the second division, the Premier League. So it's mainly been Manchester United and Liverpool. Arsenal got in with 1 about halfway through. We'll do a similar thing. We're just going to do a very quick whistle-stop tour of the other leagues. In fact, it's not La Liga. What are they calling it? Spanish First Division. So Spanish First Division. You know what? We're going to go this way. So the big leagues. Oh, it's the Primera Division, not La Liga. So let's start with Serie A, because that's your second biggest league. So Serie A, your main winners, it's been Juventus with a little bit of Lazio. If we then look at Spain, it's been, as you would expect, Real Madrid and Barcelona all the way through. And we'll quickly look at the Bundesliga as well. The Bundesliga has been dominated by Bayern Munich. It's interesting to see if Paris Saint-Germain took over in France, or if this is cut in too early. No, Paris Saint-Germain still took over in France. Probably not with the money. I don't remember Paris Saint-Germain being a big deal when I was a kid, but apparently in this world they are. We want to check out the European Cup. So European Cup winners for the last 10 years. Juventus winning it 3 times in a row. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and then back-to-back wins for Liverpool. So this Liverpool team, managed by Graham Souness, is right up there with the great Liverpool teams now. 3 First Division wins, 2 Champions League wins. He's going to go down as one of Liverpool's greatest ever managers. I wonder if he is on the Legends list. He's not. He's on favoured personnel. Steven Gerrard. I mean, this suggests it's not been updated for the database, because to have Steven Gerrard on the Legends list when he absolutely isn't yet suggests that's something they've perhaps not tweaked. Like I say, it's a beta version of the database. There'll be the odd little quirk and oddity like that. But let's see who's been winning the World Cup, see if we can have an England win. There we have it. Talking of quirks and oddities. Spain won that would have been what, the 1994 World Cup. And then the 1998 World Cup is won by England, which is jolly good, if you ask me. David Beckham is at Real Madrid. Wow. Okay. So that transfer actually happened. I thought that was some kind of glitch. But no, David Beckham at 25, already with 88 caps for England, was at Manchester United for a good long time, but then went to Real Madrid a little earlier than he did in real life. Does that seem right? I feel like he's gone there a little early. And for him to have 80 caps by the year 2000, am I misremembering when David Beckham happened? That feels like he's done a lot very, very young, even more so than he did in real life. Let's check in on the Euros as well before we go forward. Another 10 years. So European Football Championship. We've had the Czech Republic, England and Spain as the winners. So England have won back-to-back tournaments. They won the Euros and then the World Cup, and now Spain have taken the Euros off of them. So time for more time travel. This is going to take us forward to 2010 and we can see what's going on then. So we have travelled forward to 2010, a 2010 in which Chelsea have won the English First Division, Barnsley have qualified for the Champions League, and Jamie Vardy has now surfaced, albeit at Leeds. It's a 23-year-old Jamie Vardy who's got 2 caps, 2 goals. I feel like this might be a Jamie Vardy who didn't come up from non-league, and that's going to be disastrous. So you've got him in there at Stocksbridge, but immediately goes to Leeds before he's ever played a game. He's been there ever since. £3,000 it cost Leeds. He had a year on loan playing for Middlesbrough in the second division, but since then he's been in the first division with Leeds and he looks like quite the player. It's not the same romantic story for Jamie Vardy really, but he's wanted by Southampton now. He's young and banging in the goals. Looking at the rest of the Premier League, Chelsea of course as Premier League winners, with vice-captain Thomas Rosicky and Nathaniel Chalobah just about to come through into their team. I don't know if this guy's real or not. Marcel Lopez-Visma. You'll have to let me know. This is where some of my real-life football knowledge might cost me a little bit. But Chelsea's team, if we have a look at their most recent Premier League winning team, hello, that's a name I'm familiar with. Now a 35-year-old David Beckham with 191 England caps, 56 England goals, has just arrived at Chelsea this most recent season after, 11, 12 years at Real Madrid, where he's been an absolute superstar at Real Madrid, has now come back to the Premier League to finish off his career. No LA Galaxy in this universe. He's gone to Chelsea instead. And he's part of a front four that also includes Robinho on the other wing, a 26-year-old Robinho. He's the fella who went to Manchester City, isn't he, at some point or another? Looks like he came to Chelsea in this version. What I am noticing is no John Terry anywhere to be seen. They've got Buffon in goal. How is Buffon already 32? That man is forever years old. In fact, there's John Terry, 29 years old. He did come through. He's just not available at the moment. 95 England caps for John Terry. Done his entire career at Chelsea. 351 games for them so far. John Terry did emerge. Don't worry. Let's have a look to see who else is knocking around in the Premier League top goal scorers chart. Henry's still at Arsenal. Is this guy real? I feel like he might be, but I don't know. Probably not, actually. I don't know. It's not a name I'm familiar with, so we're not going to dwell too much on him. Let's look at the past winners of the Premier League. So Arsenal, Man United, Arsenal, couple of Liverpool, 4 for Man United, and Chelsea winning it for the first time just there. George Graham is now Manchester United manager. A 65-year-old George Graham. When did Alex Ferguson leave? Alex Ferguson left last year. George Graham turning up, having gone through Millwall, Ipswich, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, 4 years at Ajax. George Graham, can you imagine? And then takes over from Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. What a different version of history. This is why I love doing stuff like this. It's so much fun. Liverpool, who have they got as their manager? Rafa Benitez has made it to Liverpool. Rafa Benitez went Real Madrid, Juventus, and now Liverpool. So that means Graham Souness obviously has moved on. Where did Graham Souness go? Graham Souness was sacked after 10 years, and he's now manager of Barcelona. Again, what a different world. It's just so much fun. Did we look at Arsenal already? I don't know who Guy Ashworth is. I don't think we'll worry too much about him. They've got a hot prospect called Jack Wilshere, though, who at the moment looks relatively injury-free. I wonder how his career will turn out. Let's have a look at the top transfers then in the first division for the last 10 years. I think we got as far as here. So we're still sorted by money. Clarence Seedorf didn't stay long at Luton. He's gone to Bayern Munich now. Terrible shame. Poor old Luton losing their star man. Harry Kewell going from Rangers to Arsenal at one point is interesting. Ledley King left Tottenham to go to Liverpool. He spent most of his career at Liverpool, only playing for Tottenham for 2 full seasons before moving on and going to Liverpool, where he's been ever since. Is interesting. Ruud van Nistelrooy did find his way to Manchester United. Did he play for Cremonese in real life? I don't think he did. Maybe he did. But he made his way to Manchester United anyway and has been scoring absolutely for fun ever since. Ruud van Nistelrooy, quite good at football. Xabi Alonso made his way to Liverpool just like he did in real life. It's interesting to see which players still end up at the same place and which ones never do. Sol Campbell looks like he did the dirty on Tottenham like he did in real life, but this time going to Manchester City for money rather than Arsenal on a free. I imagine he's not quite as hated by Spurs fans in this universe as he is in real life. Rio Ferdinand left West Ham, as you would expect, but didn't go to Manchester United. In fact, he went to Leeds from West Ham in real life, didn't he? And then Manchester United. In this universe, he just went straight to Liverpool, where he's been hovering around in their team ever since, presumably the centre-back partner of Ledley King. Ledley King and Rio Ferdinand, Liverpool's defensive partnership, 4 years. The career of Clarence Seedorf continues. He's now made it to Arsenal. He's an unemployed manager now. But he went Ajax, Luton, Bayern, Arsenal. What a career for Clarence Seedorf. 37 caps for the Netherlands as well. Who else have we got? Freddie Ljungberg going from Watford to Derby. So presumably he never went to Arsenal. Played 141 times for Sweden. So it's not like his career was a flop. Shows how significant Watford and Derby must be in this universe for him to be able to still have a career of that level without hitting a major club. Chris Rigger always interests me because he grew up in the same village that I did. Has he got his... he's from Peterborough. I'm sure he's from Peterborough. I'm sure he used to play for Deeping Rangers as a kid. Either way, he went from Derby to Newcastle. And that's the only reason I noticed him. Jonathan Woodgate also passing through Derby, never going to Real Madrid, just spent years at Leeds and then Derby, where he seems relatively settled after a long time there. Fast forward again, Michael Owen did eventually leave Liverpool, this time going to Barcelona rather than Real Madrid. And in this universe, his time in Spain a lot happier than it was in real life, becoming a superstar for Barcelona, banging in the goals for years for Barcelona. Frank Lampard did eventually leave West Ham, never went to Chelsea, just went to Real Madrid instead, where he's been knocking around in their first team for a long time. How many England caps? 114. That'll do. That's more than he got in real life, isn't it? Zat Knight showing up as one of the biggest transfers, leaving Fulham to go to Sheffield United and then moving on to QPR. Big money involved in both of those moves. It's very weird seeing Zat Knight on a list like this. Who else have we got? This is where I'm going to really start to struggle to pick out the real names in amongst all the new gens. I'm looking for like Darius Vassell. I know who he is. And he went to AC Milan and Liverpool. Okay, fair enough. Kaká going from Forest to Barcelona. Forest have had some players pass through them in this world. To be a Nottingham Forest fan in this universe. Goodness me. Wes Brown going from Manchester United to Arsenal. Nicolas Anelka went from Arsenal to Real Madrid. Is that the movie made in real life? Or did he go to Barcelona? I forget. I know he went somewhere Spanish. I forget where. I don't think he actually came through the Arsenal youth team though in real life, did he? I thought they signed him from a French club, but apparently he came through the youth system at Arsenal and then moved on to Real Madrid. A slightly more subdued career for Nicolas Anelka in this universe. How many more have we got to click through to? We're looking for any more big names. Matthew Upson, also making it to Arsenal. See, now I know Matthew Upson started his career at Luton, so some of these aren't quite right because he did not come through Arsenal's youth team. He came through Luton's youth team. I don't know why I know that, but I do know that. So there's a few bits as part of this beta that are going to need a little bit of a tweak, I think. Is that Simon Davies, as in the one who played for Posh? It is Simon Davies, instead of going to Tottenham like he did in real life. In fact, he made it to Tottenham eventually, but he came through at Posh as he was supposed to. That's the kind of detail that's in this database. He came through a 4th division team like he was supposed to. Ended up at Chelsea, lots and lots of loans. I mean, this is what happens when you go to Chelsea. Then went to Juventus, Manchester United, and Tottenham. That's a lovely career for Simon Davies. I love the fact that he's come through that Peterborough team. That is very, very cool. We're looking for any more big names. Arjen Robben going from Marseille to QPR. It's not quite like going from Chelsea to Bayern Munich, is it? Philip Mexis, he was a proper championship manager superstar. Whatever happened to him? I used to sign him every year. Right? Would it be championship manager or football manager? Is that the Luis Suarez, Uruguayan striker? It probably is. Ended up at Benfica and then QPR. Again, slightly different career trajectory for Luis Suarez. Mesut Ozil also ending up at QPR. QPR? What are you rascals up to? Let's just check in on this QPR team with Mesut Ozil and Luis Suarez in it, and Vincent Kompany and Zat Knight is your defensive partnership. I mean, that's a bit of a contrast between those two. Sebastian Frey, another championship manager legend in goal. Tim Krul, Gary Cahill and Arjen Robben on the bench. This is the same QPR, right? This is madness. QPR, and they only finished 10th. Wowzers. And that brings us up to speed. So we'll just check in on the other major leagues as well, see who's been winning those. So the second biggest league is still Italy. I was going to say it's still being won by Juventus, but it's not actually. It's now been won by Juventus again. But there was a long period where it was Milan, Roma, Milan, Inter, Milan. So it's not just been Juventus dominance all the way through. If we go and have a look at Spain, it looks like Spain has just continued to be Real Madrid and Barcelona. Has Messi arrived? I mean, Messi should be fully in the team by now. There he is. So Messi at 22 has only played twice for Argentina. He's had a season-long loan at Werder Bremen. I think in real life, Lionel Messi was probably doing a little better than this at 22. We'll check in on him again in 10 years' time. We should probably just check in on Ronaldo as well while we're here. Cristiano Ronaldo is at AC Milan. He went straight to Milan from Sporting, never going to Manchester United, never going to Real Madrid. But he is at least playing regularly for Portugal, and he's got a soul patch in this world, which is lovely. CR11 here, apparently. He's got the number 11 shirt at Milan. And then Bundesliga has been largely won by Bayern, although Hamburg have been getting in the mix every now and again. It looks like Hamburg are the second biggest team over in Germany. Let's check in on the Champions League, see who's been winning that. If we have a look at past winners here, Inter, couple for Man United, Juventus, United again, Milan, United again. Who was United manager? Of course, George Graham. All these were Alex Ferguson. George Graham took over here, I think. And then Bayern, Liverpool, Real Madrid. It's a lot of the usual suspects in the European Cup. The World Cup, we've had a couple more winners. So we've had Brazil, Germany, and Argentina. A third place for England in the most recent World Cup. And then if we have a look at the Euros as well, I am going to look at things like the Ballon d'Or, but I'll do that at the end. We'll just do that all in one go on the final save file that we've got. England winning the Euros again in there. Let's see what the England team looks like. So this would be the 2010 England team in this universe. Of course he is. Of course he is. How would Cherno Samba of Barcelona not be England's star striker? Lovely. Playing up front with, who is Tommy Wright? Don't know who Tommy Wright is. But Michael Owen up front with him as well. Sean Wright-Phillips and Frank Lampard in midfield. with some guy called Nick Davies that I've not heard of. He must be a new gen. Terry King and Ashley Cole of Arsenal. So he did come through at Arsenal and stay there. Paul Robinson of Manchester City now in goal for England. And Kelvin Wilson presumably is a new gen, because I don't know of a Kelvin Wilson. Is there anyone really shocking we wouldn't expect to be in the England team? Steven Gerrard's got 49 caps now, has established himself at Liverpool. I don't think that's quite the career you would expect for Steven Gerrard. Rio Ferdinand, David Beckham, Owen Hargreaves at Sporting. So still came through at Bayern, went to Sporting. Interesting. Right, we're going to go forward 10 more years. This will bring us up to the present day-ish. It'll bring us up to the start of this season, the 2020-21 season. This is where we'll find out how Messi, Ronaldo, and the like got on as they approach the ends of their careers. So the year is 2020, and Barnsley are still a Champions League club. What has gone on here? Barnsley are one of the top teams in the world. They've got a Champions League runners-up. They've won the FA Cup 3 times. Okay, they've not actually won the Premier League, but they're basically the Tottenham of the future. Barnsley are the Tottenham of the future. Who knew that going into this video? Liverpool have just won the Premier League once again. It's largely a QPR that QPR wonder team we just looked at did manage to win a Premier League back in what would have been 2012. But since then it's been Chelsea, Man United and Liverpool all the way. This is where we're going to get much more of a mix of new gens. It's going to be harder to pick out some of the more established stars because there's going to be so many other players coming through. Rafa Benitez is still Liverpool manager though, and their vice captain is Raheem Sterling, who never left. He did a little bit of a loan at Derby, but Raheem Sterling's still a star for Liverpool. Thibaut Courtois is their best player and went straight there from Genk and has been there a long time now. What else have we got in this Liverpool team? Anything particularly of note? Trent did come through. He's only 21 years old, I guess, as he is in real life. 21, 22? This is 2020 after all. But Trent, Boateng and Nathan Ake as the back three that Liverpool are using. A 33-year-old Cesc Fabregas still playing regularly for Liverpool, having passed through West Ham. Thomas Muller, Dani Olmo, Raheem Sterling behind Gonzalo Higuain as the striker. I mean, it's a decent looking Liverpool side. I think I'd probably rather have the one that they won the Premier League with in real life though. Well, what do I know? Who else have we got knocking around? Let's jump back a little bit. Manchester United, let's see what their team looks like. Michael Laudrup is the manager of Manchester United, and the Manchester United team has Paulo Dybala in. I just noticed Marcus Rashford did come through as well. John Stones, I'm presuming it's John Stones, it is John Stones, has just gone to Manchester United from Barnsley, so never went to Everton even, never mind Manchester City. And Chelsea, let's have a look at their team. Chelsea, Tammy Abraham has emerged, as has Loftus-Cheek. Paul Pogba is at Chelsea. So he came through at Manchester United, but was poached immediately by Chelsea for only $2.5 million. And in this world, United don't throw all the money at him to bring him back. But other than that, it's actually a lot of the current Chelsea youngsters have still come through. It shows that if you actually use your golden generation, they appear into the team. Who'd have thought? Mason Mount knocking down on the bench as well, along with Adnan Januzaj and Dominic Solanke as well. So who's who of Premier League megastars? Let's have a look at the transfers as we've been doing all the way through. If we go back 10 years, see what we've got. So the biggest transfers, Mkhitaryan going to Leeds, Vincent Kompany going to Southampton from QPR, Alexis Sanchez also going to Southampton. So Southampton making some real big moves about 10 years ago now. Pepe Reina went to Arsenal. Philippe Senderos from Watford to Southampton. Remember him? I do. Gonzalo Higuain, that's when he went to Manchester United. Mario Balotelli going to Manchester United and he's now at Barcelona. That's the Mario Balotelli that was supposed to happen. Still only 29, 50 goals in 90 caps for Italy. That's what happens when you fulfill your potential, boys and girls. You end up a star for Manchester United and Barcelona. We're looking for any more like that. Michael Carrick didn't leave West Ham until, 2010? And he went to Leeds, and it looks like his career is over now anyway. Robinho going from Chelsea to Real Madrid. Alexis Sanchez lasted a year at Southampton before moving on to Barcelona. So he did make it to Barcelona eventually, just went via Southampton in this universe, which is fair enough. Southampton's it's a port. He just stopped there on the way. Jordan Henderson left Sunderland to go to Nottingham Forest, where he stayed for a long time. Never really established himself, though, and he's now at Arsenal, where, again, you wouldn't say he's exactly established himself. He's just had a season-long loan out at Sheffield United. Jordan Henderson never played for England. Bit of a flop of a career for Jordan Henderson in this universe. What else have we got? Neymar went from Milan to Southampton. What is going on at Southampton? Neymar's still there. Neymar is still at Southampton, boys and girls. He's only played 7 times for Brazil, though. I was going to say he's not the same Neymar, but looking at some of those attributes, this is still a pretty good Neymar. How much talent must Brazil have? Kevin De Bruyne at West Ham, although he has now moved on to Real Madrid, but went Genk into West Ham and then Real Madrid, so never hitting Chelsea or Manchester City. There's Fabregas making his move from West Ham to Liverpool. Similar to what we saw with Paul Pogba. Fabregas did come through at Arsenal, but got poached away before ever playing for him, went into the West Ham youth setup and just stayed at West Ham for a long, long time before Liverpool came calling. Gerard Piqué, did he get poached away as well? He did. This is a common thing. These little £2.5 million fees, these little poaching fees, and that's Pogba, Fabregas and Piqué have all been poached in the same way for the same price as soon as they've generated into the database. Piqué going to Tottenham and then eventually making it back to Barcelona, as he did in real life. Let's continue to nose around. Luis Suarez went to Bayern Munich when he left QPR. Antoine Griezmann has at the very least passed through Manchester United. In fact, he's still there, but not really doing very much for them. Gareth Bale cut out the middleman and went straight from Southampton to Real Madrid. No reason for him to stop at Tottenham. It does mean he's got nowhere to go back to with his tail between his legs when Real Madrid goes wrong. Although, to be fair, it's not really going wrong, is it? He's doing all right over in Spain, this version of him. Mesut Ozil left QPR to go to Real Madrid as well. There's Dybala arriving at Manchester United. Varane at Everton. Is he still at Everton? Raphael Varane is Everton's star centre-back. Virgil van Dijk did go to Southampton. He went via Celtic in real life, I believe. This is where you can correct me. Went to Southampton, never made it to Liverpool though, and he's been at Bayern for the last couple of years and is now a regular for the Netherlands as well. Let's have a little look. What else have we got? Arjen Robben. So the exodus happened from QPR. As soon as they won the league, everybody left. And we're not noticing much in the way of big names coming back into QPR, he says, just as Bernardo Silva arrives. Fair enough, Kev. Clement Longley seems to be making lots of moves. I noticed him. He must have just appeared on there twice because I'm sure I saw him on the previous one as well. But went from Nancy to Liverpool to Milan. I've said that. Is it Nancy? No one knows. No one's ever said it before. Wilfred Zaha going from Norwich to Everton. So he's another one who was poached. Didn't ever play a game for Palace. Barnsley poached him. Then Norwich, Everton and now Real Sociedad for Wilfred Zaha. There's Balotelli leaving United to go to Barcelona. Sadio Mane leaving Bayern Munich to go to Manchester City. So it looks like money did eventually arrive at Manchester City because they're throwing money around to bring in some of these top players. Dembele went from Rennes to Southampton. Looking for any other big names that stand out. Who else have we got here? Lewis Cook signing for Manchester City for 25 million. That's your fella off of, I want to say Bournemouth. Is that right? Have I made that up? Jamie Vardy going to Manchester City. Never played. The Jamie Vardy story now is, he never played non-league. Never played non-league, Jamie Vardy. That's there. But they don't know why they say it. They just feel the need to say it for every game. Alisson went to Manchester United from Inter Milan, so never making it to Liverpool. Edinson Cavani at Leeds. It's so odd how the likes of Leeds and Forest and QPR keep signing these good players. Joe Gomez stayed at Charlton much longer than he did in real life, but then went to Manchester City and doesn't really play. So probably in real life he did things the right way around. There's Romelu Lukaku going to Barnsley. Never went to Chelsea. Never did anything that came next. Just went to Barnsley, where he is knocking in the goals, to be fair, but not quite as extravagant as the career that he's had in real life. Andrew Robertson went from Queen's Park straight to Bayern and now is at Arsenal. Very interesting career trajectory for him. Jack Grealish. Is that Jack Grealish being poached young? No, that's just Jack Grealish moving on from Aston Villa, he never played in the top flight for Villa. £9 million move to Luton, where he's now established there. Has 5 England caps. I feel like Grealish probably needs to move on from Luton if he's going to take the next step in his career development. Some of these transfers we've already seen go through. The likes of Jesus and Van Dijk and Alves, I've noticed them knocking around in other teams. In fact, is he anyone? I'm talking about him as if I know who he is. I thought it said Danny Alves. It doesn't. I don't even know if that's a real player. It might be. There's Ruben Neves at Newcastle. Lovely stuff. And then the last one, the most recent transfer window. Looks like things are slowly starting to calm down a little bit. Kai Havertz has just arrived at Arsenal. So no Chelsea for him. I wonder how Arsenal went for him. And Nelson Semedo's just gone to Dortmund. But yeah, lots and lots of transfer business. Let's what else have we been looking at? The European Cup. Let's see what's been going on in the European Cup. Who's been winning that? In fact, we were supposed to look through the other leagues. We'll do that as well in a second. So past winners of the European Cup. Southampton winning themselves a European Cup. Who's their manager? Never heard of him. But their star man, never heard of him. But they've got Ousmane Dembele and Vincent Kompany in their team. So this is not a bad Southampton side, boys and girls. Of course, Neymar as well. Forgot that Neymar. Neymar's here too. Fabinho. Is that the Fabinho? That is the Fabinho, isn't it? Isn't it? The guy who's now a midfielder who plays for Liverpool. Looks like in this version, because he was a right back at Monaco, wasn't he? And then turned into a midfielder. It looks like in this world, he never turned into a midfielder and he's now just playing right back for Southampton with David De Gea in goal. Who just went straight from Atletico to Southampton. Got his dream move after all. Lucky old David De Gea. To be fair, won a Champions League, so he can't really complain about that too much, can he? Let's just have a look at the other national leagues to see what's been going on in those. So Serie A has been... I mean, the Juventus dominance has largely been broken by Roma now. A Roma team managed by someone I've never heard of, with Ricardo Pereira. Is that the right back off of Leicester? It is, as their star man. Fair enough. They're dominating Italy with him as their star player. La Liga has largely been won by Barcelona or Real Madrid. Is Messi still there? He's not their key man. Eden Hazard is their key man. So if Messi's here, he's not as good as Eden Hazard. Pepe's in on the right-hand side of midfield. This suggests Messi left Barcelona because he's not there. So where did Messi go? He's at Bayern Munich, a 32-year-old Lionel Messi, never really establishing himself at Barcelona, but has had what you could only describe as a jolly good career at Bayern Munich, where he has been a superstar for them, averaging in the 8s all along. He's now played nearly 100 times for Argentina. So he got there in the end. It just took leaving Barcelona for him to do it. And Balotelli now plays central midfield for Barcelona, which I'm just not going to question. Let's check Ronaldo as well while we're checking in on these boys. And so Cristiano Ronaldo, still at AC Milan. He's been there all his career, pretty much. 110 international goals now. He's been banging in the goals for fun. Hasn't quite scored as many as he has in real life. Only 249 career goals. But while we're checking in on your superstars, let's just check that this guy emerged. He did. He's still at Monaco. Only 21. Only played twice for the French national team. But there must be a big move coming based on the amount of goals that he's scoring. He's wanted by everyone. So Kylian Mbappe is going to be getting his big move this summer. We'll just check in on the Bundesliga as well as the final one of the big leagues. Bayern Munich just dominating everything. As you would imagine, it's Bayern Munich, plus they've had Messi for 10 years. So they were always going to dominate. Let's just jump and look at the World Cup as well. So World Cup has been won. Argentina, France and Brazil rounding that out. If we look at the Euros also, so the European Football Championships, Italy, Holland and Germany adding to that list. And now let's just check in before we go on the Ballon d'Or, which looks like it's called World Footballer of the Year. Are they the same thing? how far back do we want to go? We want to go back to, I mean, we'll just work in this direction. So Lewandowski at Barcelona has won it a few times. So that's interesting. You've had Lionel Messi knocking in the goals for Bayern Munich. Meanwhile, Lewandowski's scoring all the goals for Barcelona. They've just basically role reversed. Falcao winning a World Player of the Year as well. Thierry Henry won it many, many, many times. There's like 7 or 8 wins for Thierry Henry on there. Ruud van Nistelrooy winning one. Christian Vieri and then Crespo. Davor Suker. Alan Shearer off of Manchester United as well. Batistuta. Eric Cantona, who never went to Manchester United. So he left Sheffield Wednesday, never even went to Leeds. Did Sheffield Wednesday, but then went to Juventus, Real Madrid, Bordeaux, did win a World Player of the Year, but never played for Manchester United. Is that a trade-off you'd take? I'd probably take it if it was offered to me. Tony Cottee won World Player of the Year. He'll take that. I'll have that. Thank you very much. Lovely, lovely stuff. Who else have we got? So Messi was nominated for Ballon d'Ors, which it looks like there's no sign of Ronaldo on these. But you've got Suarez up there. Messi's always third place, it seems. He never actually won one, but he was regularly considered one of the best players in the world, which it looks like Cristiano Ronaldo never reached those heights. Thierry Henry, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Kaká. These were your best players. Love Del Piero's hair in this universe. Massive improvement on what he had in real life. Didier Drogba. What happened to him? He was at Inter. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Del Piero showing up again. So yeah, lots of familiar faces. The one I'm really surprised about is Ronaldo. Never really had much of a career. He's probably not going to be happy about that, is he? Probably cheaper to sign him though in this universe. But boys and girls, that brings us to the end of what I know has been a very, very long video, and I am fully aware I've barely scratched the surface. So if you do want to see more of me rooting around in this database, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video. If we get to 5,000 likes, we'll do a follow-up video this month. It has to be 5,000 likes this month. I don't want you coming back to me in 6 months saying, we did it, Kev. Yeah, but the data, I haven't got the file anymore. So it has to be this month. That is April 2021. And then I'll do a follow-up video. I might even look at it on stream. I stream regularly on Twitch. We could maybe do a whole stream nosing through it on there. Or let me know down in the comments which bits you'd like to see me go into more detail on, either on this database or the next time we do something like this. Because I'm always looking for ideas and suggestions for videos like this that I can make, because I think they're a lot of fun. If you have enjoyed this video though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.